values is in disarray, prioritizing horribly.
Unhappy with the riches cause you piss po morally.
Ignoring all prior advice and
What's going on, everybody? Good morning, Mad Hatter Nation. How you doing? How you doing? It is the Hat and Beard Show, and you are here, and it is Thursday, January 8th, 2028. Shout out to my dad successfully having surgery this morning. Already wrapped up typical hat and beard dad fashion. It's fucking 10 a.m. and he's already out, done, plumb level and square, ready to go. Makes sense, you early birds out there getting the worm. Guys, we are gonna kind of bookend the coaching carousel conversation for the time being. Obviously, as the playoffs move forward, guys will then have opportunities to interview, right? Some interviews, and some positions continue to open up, though slowly. We've seen Black Monday. Really, it started Sunday with Raheem Morris and Tony Fontanante not having a job. Fontanant having a job. I can't remember how you pronounce that. Fontanant have a job. But they were let go, obviously, on Sunday. And then we seen the looming Black Monday, the Monday after the wrap-up of the NFL regular season, excuse me. And that somehow trickled into Brown Tuesday, right? And we had Brown Tuesday. Still talking about things on Wednesday. Here we are, Thursday. NFL trying to milk everything they can. No Thursday night game, so they got to keep all eyes on me. And we still see it cascading, right? Cowboys, all right? The Cowboys fired their defense coordinator, a guy that here in the Pride we are pretty intimate with, knew pretty well. Cowboys fired defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Commanders OC and DC are also out right now. One of them a little bit more of a go get your opportunity, so much so then more so than a termination, right? Then we are gonna kind of turn our watchful eye, our all-seeing eye that kept calling John Harbaugh Jim Harbaugh yesterday in our standalone video, like an absolute butthole that I am. But we are going to look over at the NFL, a little bit of wild card matchup with two teams that we know a little too well here. Jordan Love and the Packers not concerned about rust entering wild card weekend versus the Chicago Bears. Now, guys, this is a can I root for the giant meteor type situation, right? Can both teams just somehow lose? Can simultaneously both of these teams lose and I don't know, man, another wild card team just gets a pass, you know? But I got to pick a team, right? I got to pick a side. This is a black and white situation, an A or B. I'm going to be honest, and I hate to say it, it makes my skin crawl, but in this game, I like Jaden Reed. I like Josh Jacobs. Yeah, I'm going to have to go Pack Go in this game, but we're going to look at how the Packers are feeling about any rust. I can't stand the Bears. I hate Ben Johnson. I hate Giggle Williams. It's just all griggity gross over there. Then we're gonna kind of keep sliding down the old narrative storyline. 2026 Lions coaches, staff trackers, hire trackers, and latest candidate news, tracking all the latest news, interviews, candidates for the 2026 Detroit Lions coaching staff, including offensive coordinator. If it's coming from Pride of Detroit, who do you think, guys, go ahead and guess, who do you think the writer is of this one? Oh, well, would you look at that as Jeremy Reisman. We're going to see what Jeremy Reisman has to say about the Detroit Lions' latest moves, any scuttlebutt we have around not just coaches, but some brass up top might be moving around as well, and this is something that hopefully we can learn from last year, right, where we had a wildly successful regular season, turned first round bye in the playoffs with the number 1 seed, and then our coaching staff, as is going to happen with good coaches, when you put a good product on the field, the NFL is a league of parity, they're going to go ahead and start cleaning out your cupboards, and it's how you restock, resupply, recalibrate, reload, re-engage, and go out on the attack the next season. Lions kind of slipped up this year. Many reasons for that, but still a plus 500 year, and we beat one of our divisional rivals, swept them at the end of the season. That's all right, the old Chicago Bears. Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson. He's got a small peepee. He's a traitor in the Windy City. Now, all we talk about is coaches, right? All it is coaches talk right now for the Lions. That's really all there is to talk about, unless we want to delve into the weeds on Caleb McLaughlin again, right? Our futures contract, which low-key I'm actually really, really high on. Go check out my video yesterday, you guys. American Boxer has a epic. That's all I can say for it. It's an epic analysis, grading out of Caleb McLaughlin, right? The center that we signed to a futures contract. So if you want to have a little bit, get a little high on it, I was trying to keep my excitement to a low, but I do think it's a sneaky move. But however, 4 reasons why you guys clicked on the article, right? You guys seen it, the thumbnail, right? Go Blough yourself. 4 reasons David Blough is a legitimate OC, right? And 3 reasons he isn't. Breaking down the pros and cons for David Blough as the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. There is based on how much I read this dude and how much we seemingly agree on things, I'm going to just go ahead and ask you guys, how many of you guys think that I am Jeremy Reisman? Yeah, it's like a 0% chance. This guy can read and write, and I am a harata. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, before we get into all that, before we dive deep down into the bells of the Lions coaching staff moves, would you do me a favor? Would you go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new here? That way you can partake in the chat here at Mad Hatter Nation every single day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Dude, y'all, if you're seeing the chat right now, they're wondering where you're at and why you're not in here hanging out with every single one of these guys. We are a bastion of based sanity in a sea of nonsensical NFL content. Come hang out with us here at Mad Hatter Nation, dude. We are based AF around here, dude. We ain't got time for slappies. We ain't got time for slappies, dude. Ain't no slappies in Mad Hatter Nation, right? That makes, while you're at it, so you should notified, have the bell turned on, right? That way you just click the button. You come right here, hang out with us. Keep your eyes peeled. We do have daily uploads at about 4 p.m. It's a little standalone, a little bit different take, a little bit more of a Tim Poolian approach to things. And then, of course, like the video, share it around with all of your friends, do all the things, guys. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Oh, yeah, dude, we got a roster here. Beantown, what's up? Dude, are you getting ready for your Super Bowl run over there? Are you getting ready for Mike Vrabel in his first year with a sophomore quarterback turned should-be NFL MVP, Drake May? Are you ready for the New England Patriots to hoist the Lombardi Trophy again? Because that's what's about to have happen over there in the AFC there. Oh, yeah, there. Oh, yeah, dude, the Pats are back. I'm telling you, the Patriot way is in full through. Patriots are scary. Dude, Mr. Figs, what's up, dude? Brother, I'm glad you like that Osama Ben Johnson, the traitor in the Windy City, Benedict Arnold, Ben Johnson, small PP Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, the traitor in the Windy City, the turncoat coward that ran over there to play slap and tickle with Giggle Williams. You know what I'm saying? American Boxer, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Hey, man, legit. Does a history of ruptured Achilles tendon or concern with a player the Detroit Lions might sign? Well, obviously, there's always going to be a little bit of a concern around the Achilles tendon. Shout out to Dr. Nick. Dr. Nick, if you can hear me, Dr. Nick, we are waiting for your expertise to weigh in on this. The Ben names are top tier. Yeah, dude. Well, they're not all me, dude. They're not all me. It's a collection of Mad Hatter Nation. Now, to be fair, I am the guy who coined him Big PP Ben Johnson when he was our offensive coordinator, coming up with wild-ass plays, having a historically good offense. And then naturally, as the turntables turn, as he turned his coat and tucked tail and ran away to Chicago, I was ready to root for Ben Johnson to be the head coach of the Raiders, to be the head coach of New England. But when he went to Chicago, oh, well, of course, as you're turning the color of your coat, your name turns, right? You're no longer Big PP. You're no longer Big PP Ben Johnson. You are now Small PP Ben Johnson. Benedict Arnold Osama Ben Johnson, the traitor in the Windy City. So you know how it is. I think that's the way most impressive about the Pats dynasty run. They lost so much brain power, and they were still able to stay on top for almost 2 decades. And Beantown, to that point, bro, I'm not like a big Patriots fan per se. I'm a big Mike Vrabel fan. I like Drake May. And I look to how you guys have kind of You, Pittsburgh, nah, I don't know about the Chefs so much, but really, you and Pittsburgh, I guess. Is there really an NFC dynasty that has done it in a clean way over decades? No. Shit, really. If you really want to look to it, it's pretty much just it's just been Pittsburgh and because I mean Philadelphia is always having drama. But yeah, so Pittsburgh, New England, you guys, Baltimore to an extent, really set the standard of the model of look, the brain drain is going to come, and it's a it's a matter of how you rebuild, recalibrate, reload, and re-engage. Go out on the attack. Not to keep quoting my intro, but you know that how you handle adversity, how you handle the parity of the NFL is how you prove whether you are a good team or a great franchise. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying, guys? Does that make sense? Honest question for Lions fans: would Ben or MCDC be a top choice head coach for y'all? Oh, dude, yes, Mr. Figs. Huh. Brother. Oh, Mr. Figs, you're not from here, are you? I think you're a Chiefs fan, aren't you? My bad, dude. I forgot you're a Chiefs fan, dude. You hang out so regularly, brother. It's hard to not envision you with the cat and candy on your head and the Honolulu blue jersey. What's up, Brandy? Good to see you. The MCDC Motor City Dan Campbell, the way he conducts himself, the way he handles his business, the term gritty is overused so much, but his grittiness, his emotions on his sleeve, what you see is what you get, dude. I don't know if you've ever really met anybody from Michigan or especially from the lower peninsula, from the actual collapsed and forgotten Rust Belt that was the auto manufacturing capital of the world. Dude, Dan Campbell, if you could, the statue, the spirit of Detroit, Dan Campbell is the spirit of Detroit, is the spirit of Michigan, is the spirit of generations of frustrations, not just amongst Lions fans, Pistons fans, Tigers fans to that extent, but the people of Michigan, the people of the city of Detroit. If you look at it, Detroit was at one point the wealthiest city in America, maybe even the world. It was called the Paris of the Midwest in the late 40s, and then it's been abandoned, forgotten, beaten down, broken, and left as a punching bag for decades, both as an economic city, as a actual state, and as a sports franchise. Dan Campbell, at least to me, speaks to a degree, an energy, a frequency that resonates deeper than just a rah-rah head coach. I call it a vibe check, I guess, dude. I feel Dan Campbell when he talks. You know what I'm saying? He just resonates so deeply with the fandom that I think the answer will time and time again be Dan Campbell. You couple that with the fact that Ben Johnson is just skinny Matt Patricia, and nobody likes Matt Patricia. To that end, I think Brian Dable is going to be bald Matt Patricia. But you know what I'm saying? MCDC has a style that will last for years. Benedict Ben does not have the character that I can see. Exactly, Jack, and that's exactly it. It's the small things. People kind of rag on Dan Campbell for being a little overly emotional, for being too deeply tied to the in and out and the intricacies of the team. You know what I'm saying? But he's always the first to take the blame for everything head on. It was me. It was my fault. I let you guys down. I had a freaking F grade this year, man. It was all me. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Ben Johnson verbatim said after the loss last Sunday, we put in a very simple game plan and the offense couldn't take care of it, and I'm very mad about it, right? What he said was, my team is fucking retarded and it's not my fault. And that's not a leader, dude. Unfortunately, that is the modern day leadership, a pass the buck. It's not me. I'm just the babysitter. I'm just here to keep everybody in line for X amount of time. It's not me. It's them. They acted out. It's their fault. Where society, football, dare I say, not trying to get too down into the weeds of Strauss-Howe fourth generational turning theory, but the world needs leadership like Dan Campbell. grown-ass men who are going to take everything head on, and when things go awry is not going to go, it was them. They did it. No, I did my job. It was them. No. Dan Campbell would take the blame for it being raining outside. He'd be like, you know what, man? I didn't do a rain dance hard enough in the locker room, man. And because it was raining, it's my fault. Whereas Ben Johnson would be like, the sky was menstruating. Caleb was starting to sync up with the lunar cycles. I couldn't blow him hard. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? There's any number of reasons. So I think the long and short is always going to be Dan Campbell, my guy. You know what I'm saying? I hate whining babies. Exactly, dude. Exactly. I don't know if it's a hot take, dude. I think it's just I don't know, man. I don't say, I'm going to be very honest with you, Mr. Figs. I don't say things for clips, dude. You asked a question and you got an answer, brother. You asked a question. What you see is what you get, my guy. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, do all the things and stuff. Let's get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Mr. Figs. My bad, dude. I didn't see that part. I see you love Andy's presence. First, though, I have a graphic to support my review. Personally, I'd take MCDC over Andy Reid. And Mr. Figs, what's up, Riley? What's good, brother? Good to see you. Oh, yeah. Hey, by the way, Brent, it was your birthday yesterday. Shout out Brent DeWitt. Happy birthday, dude. Happy belated birthday, my guy. But you know what? American Boxer, I think you summed it up pretty well there, dude. I hate whining babies. Yeah, me too. I used to bitch and complain a lot, and I still do. I mean, but ultimately, it's not going to do anything. So it's just like when you hear people like Ben Johnson, Matt Patricia, just whining, pissing, bitching, and moaning, especially like a man, because dude. So sidebar, right? Hat and Boobs and I were talking the other day, and she's like, I was watching this Catholic content creator lady, and she the creator used the word, the world hates men, and I stopped her and I was like, I don't know if that's actually true or not. Modern day, yes, I do think there's a lot of hate and resentment towards men, just in general. I don't think the world hates men. Okay. I'm gonna be the world doesn't give a fuck about men. We are very disposable resources. Like nobody fucking cares. No, and I'm not like, boo-hoo, nobody cares about us. I just mean like nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody, dude. Excuses are like assholes, man. Everybody's got one. They all stink. Just fucking nut up or shut up. You know what I'm saying, dude? And unfortunately, we've gotten to a societal point here in Western civilization where excuses are just allowed. Everybody's allowed to just have an excuse for something or another. I can't because of X, Y, and Z. I can't because of X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, fuck off, dude. Okay, for example, and if this hurts your feelings, yeah, fuck it. I don't care, man. I have a big issue with people that use the term anxiety all the time, right? Like especially like awful women, affluent white female liberals, right? I have anxiety doing this. I have anxiety doing that. It's like, oh, do you? Okay. Congratulations. Welcome to the fucking human experience, dude. Yeah, I have anxiety to call and order a pizza. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. Because the whole reason that you have that system, that very complex anxiety system, that feeling in your butthole of, ooh, this don't feel right. I don't think I should be doing that. Something is out to get me. Is because at one point, your your very distant relatives were running around practically butt fucking naked with a stick with a stone on it, and they went, something don't feel right. And they turned around and there was a big ass cat behind them that was about to eat them. That's why you have that system. That's why you have this anxiety system, so that your body can be alerted and anxious to danger around it. Not because you have to call and talk to a 17-year-old burnout working at Hungry Howie's to place a fucking order, dude. Hell, you don't even have to talk to him 90% of the time anyway. You can place that shit online. So this excuse, I have anxiety, I can't talk to people, I can't. Okay, well then go live in a fucking bubble somewhere, dude. Like, people with excuses for everything. And my point is that, like, it's super irritating as a man, as a white Christian straight man, to just like see all of these people be allowed to have excuses upon excuses upon excuses. Even guys like fucking Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are gifted all of these excuses. Hell, you can even put that on Detroit, where we're given a magnitude higher because of the way we dictate ourselves and handle our business, because of our head coach, where we go about with a higher masculine value. Jared Goff has to have everything perfect. Meanwhile, Matt Stafford, with one player out, is allowed to throw 3 interceptions, but nobody says everything has to be perfect for him. Do you see the contrast? Do you understand the contrast here? Where true masculine values, it's not that the world fucking hates you. They just don't fucking care, dude. They just don't give a shit. Does any of that make sense, dude? What's up, Carrie? Good to see you. Hey, Kane, what's up, man? Said Caleb wearing his high school jersey that it was a great school, but he didn't like the colors, the identity of the school. Yeah, see, dude. And Caleb Williams is just a dickhead, dude. When I was a dumbass CrossFitter, yoga after a workout felt amazing. I noticed I was more flexible while gaining more strength. I got tired of the weird people there, though. Almost a cult. Yeah, dude, I've heard that. I heard that CrossFit stuff is like very cultish. I mean, that's the only word that like I can like describe it as. To an extent, all forms of fitness are going to require a certain degree of dedication, which then start to draw parallels to cult-like behavior. Unfortunately, again, we are so liberal with our descriptions and labels to throw out on everything that, oh, it's a cult, you're brainwashed. It's like, I'm in a cult because I wake up and work out every day. But I have seen that CrossFit stuff, dude, and to some extent, dude, I have heard some pretty good arguments, right, from some respectable individuals, Michael Knowles, that yoga is to an extent a demonic cult-like behavior. You know what I'm saying? The chanting and that type of shit. Now, all that to be said, I do every morning before the show, I do about an hour of real deep mobility activation, posterior chain activation, thoracic spine activation, hamstring stretch, a lot of mobility exercises. And then I do work out every single morning before doing the live show. But for me, that's because I have to order the chaos, because if I don't order the chaos demon runs my fucking life, and I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Jack, exactly, dude. Just do the Army physical training. You won't need CrossFit. And for real, guys, like, yeah, dude, Mr. Figs, yoga is huge, dude. And I'm not saying don't do yoga. I do get where like Michael Knowles is coming from with the chanting stuff. But yeah, the small muscle flexibility, mobility, a long muscle is a strong muscle, dude. The longer you can maintain your mobility throughout your life, the longer you're going to have it. You know what I'm saying, dude? And it's all about just like maintaining mobility, dude. Imagine being a fit old man in the mid-50s being surrounded by a bunch of hot young chicks doing yoga. Yeah, dude, exactly. See, American Boxer? Oh, hell yeah. All right, guys. So we got way off topic here. So quickly here, yeah, not to swim around in the sea of Schadenfreude for too long here, but it is a little bit of a double dose. You know, nobody likes the Cowboys. All right. Now, the longer Dak is in the league, the more respect I have for Dak. But two things. One, Dak and Jared Goff are in the same draft class, so they're always being compared to one another, and Jared Goff will infinitely be a better quarterback than Dak Prescott, okay? 2, my buddy Demo and I got into an argument like a decade ago about who would you build your franchise around, Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott. And this is when Kirk was like actually kind of good. You know what I'm saying? Back when primetime Kirk was a thing. But obviously I took Kirk Cousins. He took Dak Prescott. So there's always going to be that divide there. So that being said, nobody likes the Cowboys and nobody likes Matt Eberflus. Changes haven't been limited to just head coaches during this coaching carousel whirlwind that we've been having. As widely expected, the Dallas Cowgirls fired defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus on Tuesday after the team surrendered more than 500 points in a season for the first time in franchise history. Not a Cowboys fan. I don't like Jerry Jones. His eyes are too far apart. My eyes are too far apart. Yeah, dude, you fight, bro. Yeah, you traded away Micah Parsons, but then you also went out and acquired Quinnen Williams. Okay. What's his name there that they got in the Micah Parsons trade? What's that fat bag of shit? He used to play Kenny Clark. He ain't bad, you know what I'm saying? But to be honest, Dallas, seems like a bunch of degenerate dirtbags, a bunch of greasy assholes. You know what I'm saying? If I was Dakota Rain Prescott, I would be trying to leverage every possible fulcrum that I could find to get out of Dallas. Okay, if Dak wants a ring, he ain't gonna win it in Dallas. Dak has a better shot at winning a ring going and being the franchise rebuilding quarterback of the Cleveland Brown Eyes than he does winning a Super Bowl in Dallas. As long as Jerry Jones continues to slowly slip farther into senility, Dak's window, if there was one, is rapidly closing. Let's be honest, dude. You couldn't get it done with a prime Zeke Elliott, right? You had a real good defense and a prime Zeke Elliott, dude. You couldn't get it done with a prime Micah Parsons. You can't get it done with a prime CeeDee Lamb, a prime George Pickens, a prime Jake Ferguson. And this isn't saying, Dak, you can't get it done. You are not good enough. This is something structurally within the franchise will not allow you to be as successful as you potentially could be. Okay, I give Dak a lot of credit, dude. He's routinely the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee from Dallas, right? Coming back off of that horrific leg injury a few years back. I mean, you got to give some respect to the guy, you know? Everybody likes an underdog story, even if they play for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Dak, though, come on, man. There are teams that could use you, bro. You know, not for nothing, but what would a dollars to donuts comparison be, salary cap wise? Dak Prescott salary versus Tua. You're talking a $7 million AAV difference. There you go, Dallas. Hey, Dak, I'm not trying to tell you that you should force your way out of Dallas and money-wise go over to Miami, but hey, Dak, you could pretty much bang it out, dude. You pretty much could get a AAV exchange with a $7 million difference. That's not too much. Hey, Dak, force your way out of Dallas and go to Miami. Save your fucking career, dude. Oh, my goodness gracious me. So, and then the Commanders parted ways with Joe Witt and mutually agreed to part ways with Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury is rumored to be a hot name in the head coaching candidacy again because of his success with RG4, Jaden Daniels. I don't know, man. I'm not a Cliff Kingsbury guy. How do we feel, Mad Hatter Nation? What do you think about that? What's up, Maz Carpetbag? How you doing, brother? Poor Eberflus is like, you trade Micah, then you fire me. F you, Jerry. Yeah, dude. Yo, dude. That's not a. Yeah, dude. Actually, when you phrase it like that, I mean, they did kind of set him up to fail. That's a good point, dude. I don't know if we should be throwing stones right now. We're both living in glass houses, closed Super Bowl windows. Oh, Maz, come on, man. The Lions Super Bowl window, and I am a unapologetic Lions fan, dude. Our Super Bowl window is like a picture glass, like a picture, like a whole wall window, dude. That is like fully opened all the way top to bottom, dude. Our window is an industrial sized overhead door, and it is wide open. Or at least I'm huffing a bunch of copium. What's up though? So Maz Carpetbag, we're both what do you Oh, I get what you're saying. For a minute there, dude. I thought when you said we you had another team, dude. Gotcha. You're a Lions fan, though. I gotcha. Jerry just wants to put his team in the news cycle as much as possible. Look, man. Look, we're all in. We're all in on these young guys. Dude, Jerry Jones realizes that it's not about winning Super Bowls. It's about making money, motherfucker. It's all about making money. Jerry Jones views the NFL as exactly what it's supposed to be. An entertainment revenue source for his income. He is just stacking. It don't matter if he wins or loses as long as you know who Jerry Jones is. You know what the star is on the side of the Dallas Cowboys helmets. And they're in the news cycle. The dollary dues just keep coming in, dude. That's all it is for Jerry Jones. He just likes making dollars. I want an OC that knows play action with a strong background, utilizing the I formation and wishbone, especially if we keep Montgomery. I hope we keep Montgomery. I really would like to see an I formation once or twice. You guys know me. I am all about moving Ahmed Hassanin to fullback, dude. Oh, man. So quickly, guys, Jordan Love and the Packers are going to play the Bears, right? When asked about if the rust has any issues, right? Because we know what's more significant. Rust is a term used to describe a lack of rhythm caused by an extended absence, or real, or just a myth, right? Entering the wild card weekend showdown with the rival Bears, Packers quarterback Jordan Love doesn't see it as a cause of concern. No, it really doesn't. Love said Wednesday of the 2 weeks he's missed due to a combination of injuries and strategic rest. Quote, I still think just practicing all week, staying locked in. Obviously suited up last week, was ready to go. But yeah, it's been a couple weeks, but no, it doesn't feel like that. Just staying with it in practice. But I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. There is a different speed to everything. And as much as I'm like, yeah, go Pack, go, there is a bit of a narrative. The Bears are still warm. We'll say they're warmer, right? They played their starters longer. They played them more recently. They still are. The muscle is still warm, and I think they're going to be kind of pissed off. Yeah, I think Ben Johnson's going to have his tallywhacker in a twist. He's going to be a little wanting to prove that little Ben Johnson, little Ben Johnson, that little Ben Johnson deserves to be at the big boys table. All right, it was maybe still is a coach of the year candidate, though. I don't see how Mike Vrabel doesn't win it, dude, with what he's done with Drake May. You know what I'm saying? Just yeah. I don't know, man. But Love was forced out of Green Bay's last dance with Chicago in the first half due to a concussion, requiring Malik Willis. You guys remember when people wanted us to take Malik Willis number 2 overall instead of Aiden Hutchinson? To enter and finish the game that included a thrilling conclusion in favor of the Bears. He missed the following week, then spent the regular season finale in full uniform on the sideline, making for 10 quarters of possible football participation missed over the last 3 weeks. LaFleur doesn't seem worried about it this time for the time off for Love, a quarterback who seems to be hitting his stride before the concussion. He looked good. He had, I would say, a pretty normal workload, so he looked good. Rest can arrive at a perfect time, though, for a team needing it. Packers running back Josh Jacobs certainly embraced the opportunity after playing through a nagging knee injury over the last 6 weeks. My body is coming into the game is the best I felt probably in the last 6 weeks, Jacobs said. So it's pretty good. Pretty good situation to be in. For players like Jacobs, rust isn't a concern, not when the value of time off outweighs the possibility of losing his mojo. My mojo. They've stolen my mojo. My mojo. We'll see. Dude, I used to I watched Austin Powers like 100,000 times growing up. Dude, Mike Myers, I was such a big fan of Mike Myers, dude. Austin Powers and Wayne's World. Bro. Swing! I used to watch Wayne's World so much, dude. We'll see if the time off is true for Love when he and the Packers return to hostile confines of Soldier Field on Saturday to deliver a big old slab of humble pie right to small PP Benedict Arnold Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City, getting every bit of the first round bouncing after getting the 2 seed that he deserves. Bounce 'em, Pack. Go, Pack, go. And I feel very disgusting saying that. You know what I'm saying? We trying to run the bone with Goff. We are in big trouble. Y'all know how Cowboys fans are. He doesn't have to win a Super Bowl. They can win 3 games the following year, and this is our year. That will never change. Dallas has the largest fan base in the NFL. Unfortunately, you're right, and that's because of the success they had in the 90s. They really capitalized on early mass marketing. You know what I'm saying? If Goff understood how to use his running backs better, he would give himself more time in the pocket he needs. I agree. I know players have mastered the art of getting paid by the year and sitting out if the games per... Yeah, dude. Yes, dude, you're right. NFL owners are going to only start paying per games played. You know, Maz, that's not necessarily the worst thing, dude. I like that name, Maz Carpetbag, dude. That's funny. I like that. You wouldn't happen to be like Maz from like Woodward, are you? Like that Maz, dude? The big Micah Parsons Maz fan? So over here, just quickly, Lions coaching staff hire tracking. Let's go ahead and refresh to see if there's been any moves while I've been yippity yapping at your face hole. So the Lions, John Morton was fired. We know that. Yes. The Falcons also, guys, and this is something to pay attention to, the Falcons have already tapped Lions Chief Operating Officer Mike Disner as a candidate for the President of Football Operations positions, and more could be on the way. This post will keep track of all of it. Okay, so clearly the big open job in the Motor City is the offensive coordinator. John Morton was fired, right? And currently right now we have just one name publicly on a list. I'm fairly confident that there is going to be more names added to the list as the postseason progresses and more guys are available or made available to interview. I also wouldn't be surprised if we have 2, if not 3, names in-house already that should be getting a real good look, and I mean a real good second look. Hank Fraley. Okay. But currently, right now, the name kicking around is David Blough. All right. We're going to side that over there real quick. Our tight ends coach, obviously, Tyler Roll, also went to Iowa State. Not saying that's not important, but it's not the big hot name, the hot position, the top, OC, right? It's not one of them big dog names. It's one of those kind of probably promote from within, maneuvering, again, player to coach, transition career track, you know what I'm saying? And then obviously Mike Disner, the candidate for Falcons President of Operations. He's going to be interviewing today. Good luck, right? Good luck, dude. Everybody wants to climb, right? But the considered to be the favorite is Matt Ryan, old Matty Ice, as the Falcons. They embark on what the Detroit Lions did not 5 years ago, right? It was a structural overhaul, GM, head coach, top-down, turnaround, and I was one of those people who's like, oh, this seems a little interesting. Raheem Morris, were you really given an opportunity? And to be completely fair, I have heard from Falcons fans, and I'll give Falcons fans credit. First of all, I've spent a obnoxious amount of time down in Georgia. Georgia's nice. If you ever get a chance, go to Stockbridge, Georgia. It's just outside of Atlanta. It's actually where they shot the terminus season of Walking Dead. I got to drive through that site for like fucking 6 months. But there's this little restaurant. It's called Bridge Street Country Cookin'. I don't know if it's still there, but I tell you what, back in like 2014, 2015, bro, they have like an army of Southern grandmas in the back that I can't recommend any one thing on their menu, dude, because it's all good, dude. So if you ever get a chance, if you ever find yourself in Atlanta, Georgia, take a little detour down to Stockbridge, just outside of Atlanta. Find yourself at Bridge Street Country Cooking. Rock solid shit, dude. But Matt Ryan, considered to be the favorite, but good on him. All that to be said is Falcons fans and people in Georgia, also really, really nice, very, very friendly. And Falcons fans have been sounding off, letting me know, yeah, they're not happy with Raheem Morris. They weren't happy. It was he constantly seemed to be getting in the way and underutilizing what could be a. Is Kyle Pitts getting out of his prime? Drake London's in his prime. Bijan Robinson is in his prime, right? Michael Penis could be in his prime, getting into his prime, right? There are a lot of pieces and parts there. The defense is really, really good in Atlanta with all of the runway in front of them to get better, right? There is a lot of good pieces in Atlanta. So sounds like it was the right move based on how the fandom is feeling around Atlanta. So, maybe bringing in a guy like Matt Ryan. You see kind of how it works with Spielman here in Detroit. You know what I mean? That could be the route in it. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to imply it. Detroit's revolutionizing football, boys and girls. So we mentioned here, obviously, let's go ahead and mute that or pause that. David Blough. We talked about David Blough yesterday, guys, and I feel like I was kind of on my own a little bit. No trolling that, Maz. Maz is a carp. Oh, Bravo. Bravo, Maz. Tip of the hat to you, my good man. That is good. That is. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Oh, dude, you coached at Stockbridge in 2024. That's dope, dude. Yeah, you think Kirby's smart to the Falcons, huh? You think that's the because he's forgive me, dude. I can't. College football, it's hard for me to keep track of coaches very well. I don't really watch college football outside of draft prospects. Kirby Smart's the head coach for Georgia, right? So it's almost like a natural progression. You know what I'm saying? Almost a natural step up. Guys, we're going to quickly wrap up the show here, talk about David Blough. Okay, now, I understand a lot of the arguments that you guys have for David Blough, right? Let's do this in reverse order. Let's read the 3 reasons why he's not qualified, right? 3 reasons why David Blough shouldn't be a serious candidate. And they're all sound, fundamental arguments. You guys make it's good points, okay? I do agree with Jeremy Reisman, though I think this article lays out great arguments for everything, right? David Blough, and this is the first one that everybody says, right? And this is the first thought that I had when I seen it. I was like, are we ready? First initial take, double-digit IQ, first thought is he experienced enough? He's far too inexperienced. Blough's coaching career has lasted just 2 seasons, and he's been an assistant quarterbacks coach for most of the entire time. He's only led a position group for a month after Commanders QB coach Tavita Pritchard left to become Stanford's head coach. A meteoric rise like that is pretty significant risk for a team that is looking to win a Super Bowl right now. While his playing career has given him chances to learn under strong offensive minds like Freddie Kitchens, Todd Monken, Ben Johnson, Kevin O'Connell, and Cliff Kingsbury, his, quote, tree remains relatively small, and he has basically no time on task in developing a game plan during a week or calling plays. That is a found or a sound point, you know what I mean? That path isn't necessarily unprecedented. Saints head coach Kellen Moore became the Cowboys offensive coordinator, then Chargers and Eagles coordinator after just 1 year of coaching the Cowboys QB room. But he is more the exception than the rule. Exactly. You could think of one guy, right? Play calling remains a problem. personally, I think Dan Campbell is best served in a general overseer role. He is capable of calling plays, but I had 2 issues with him on the job for 2025. For one, it seemed to pull him away from other duties, leading to questionable game management decisions with timeouts, challenges, and other key game day moments. Additionally, I think Campbell had a good grasp of sequencing and feel for play calling. He made some very questionable decisions in high leverage moments, particularly on 3rd and 4th down. So Detroit would either have to go back to Campbell in 2026 or hand things to Blough, who has 0 experience calling plays. Neither choice is ideal, in this writer's opinion. I don't know, man. I like Dan Campbell calling plays. I think that just as you need to experience in all aspects, the more he does it, the better he will be at it. There are some talented, experienced options out there. After Black Monday has come and gone, there are a surprising number of strong offensive minds out there with great track records. Eric Schlitt did a great job listing 13 candidates for the Lions offensive coordinator position. My personal favorite is Ravens OC Todd Monken and Giants OC interim head coach Mike Kafka. You guys, I've been high on Mike Kafka, dude. Both are still employed with their current teams. It's not entirely clear where their future lies as the organizations start their head coach searches. Other options, very experienced options, include Kevin Stefanski, Brian Dable, Cliff Kingsbury. Obviously, hiring one of these candidates comes with its own risk, mainly whether they fit the Lions' current scheme or decide to overhaul things entirely. But in the long term, these hires could be made significant with confidence. They're eventually getting things in order. They're good points. They're good points. You know, they're good. You're not wrong for making these points, right? But I do think there are some good reasons that David Blough should be considered a legitimate candidate. He's got a firm grasp of the Lions' scheme. Let's be honest with ourselves. The Detroit Lions' offensive scheme does not need a dramatic overhaul. If the Lions can just get back to where they were under Ben Johnson, and they weren't that far off last year, things can change in a hurry. The Lions' scheme was one that was carefully developed with Jared Goff at the helm, and Detroit's personnel was handpicked to fit what the Lions do here. The biggest reason Detroit took a step back this past season was their inability to win up front, not a huge schematic blunders. If the Lions were to go with an external hire, they risk alienating their quarterback and attempting to fix things that were never broken. Blough spent 2 seasons in Detroit under the scheme from 21 to 23, has a clear rapport with Jared Goff, and throughout his time here, he consistently received praise for his deep football knowledge. Here's Johnson's mentioning that he saw play calling in Blough's future. Quote, I talked to Tim Boyle right now, and I think whenever he decides to hang the cleats up, he's going to become a coach. David Blough was the same when he was here. Those guys, you can already see that they want to be potential play callers down the road. And here's Dan Campbell in 2021. Quote, he's smart. He's extremely smart. He knows where to go with the football. I love his timing. He knows how to command the huddle. He communicates well, and on top of that, he's a hell of a dude. By the way, he just is. Something that you might not know, also, he's in higher demand than you may think. Blough may only be 2 years into his coaching career, but the man has already drawn the interest of several teams. Last year alone, the Commanders had to block interview requests from the Jets QB coach, Bears passing game coordinator, and Jags QB coach. Obviously, Aaron Glenn and Johnson chasing him is no surprise considering their shared time in Detroit. But Liam Cohen was also interested, and he has no history with Blough. Word is getting around. He already has designed some very successful plays. That's what I was saying. Jared Goff mentioned that he's drawn up some plays. While play design is only a small part of the job of an offensive coordinator, Blough has already been credited with pitching in some critical plays at critical times. Here's Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels talking about the game-winning touchdown play in Week 16 against the Eagles. This is via Albert Breer. It's set up perfectly. We did the same play in practice, same route, right behind the linebacker, in 2 high coverage. That was my first read pre-snap from what I've seen. I'm going to go right here and trust in him to make the play. So see Jaden Daniels. Remember the reverse flea flicker the Lions pulled off against the Cowboys? That play was called Boilermaker. Why? Because Blough, a Purdue alum, brought it with him from college. And finally, they've been slowly building up to this. I think we're trying to get ahead of the curve. Okay. As I said yesterday, if you're going to end up going this route anyway, if he's going to eventually be an offensive coordinator, why not just pull the trigger on it now? Why not just get him in-house? Why not just get him tailored, made to what you need? Why not just start the process now? If you're going to eventually go this route, if he's eventually going to go this route, you got the veteran quarterback who can pretty much dictate the offense the way he wants. You're bringing in as much as I want to say an Adam Gase style offensive coordinator, where it's going to be maybe a little bit more hands off, a little bit more of a mutually designed play calling game plan between Dan Campbell, David Blough, and Jared Goff. Maybe it's more of a three-headed style approach. With the eventual, grooming him to become a more involved offensive coordinator. If that's the route you're going to go, just do it right now. Just pull the Band-Aid off. Just rip that cord. I understand the Todd Munkins. I understand. I'm a big Hank Fraley fan. Why wait? Beat your man to the punch. You know what I'm saying? Why let him go elsewhere and be successful, and then you possibly don't get another opportunity to have him in here? Right? He's already being tabbed as a future head coach candidate. You got to get out ahead of your enemy. While the Lions certainly wouldn't want to have another successful offensive coordinator poached from them in the future, it speaks to Blough's legitimacy that some believe he's destined to be a head coach someday soon. David Aldridge, a Commanders columnist for The Athletic, had this to say about Blough. But it feels more likely that Quinn will go outside the building, though he'd love to keep assistants quarterback coach David Blough, who's on the fast track to becoming a head coach very soon. Blough also made the Athletics 2025 list of the NFL's 50 under 40, a list of rising young talents in the league at coaching and executive positions. Here's what authors Jordan Rodriguez and Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones? Who? I think this writer, I bet he's got a lot of haters and a lot of homies, some friends and some phonies. But this is what he said about Blough. About Blough. Kingsbury described Blough as, quote, one of the brightest quarterbacks I've ever been around. That says a lot. He's been around a lot of talented collegiate quarterbacks, though. Most recently, he was the head coach of Kyler Murray, right? And praises his rapport with his players, his insight and communication skills. Blough received interest from Aaron Glenn and the Jets about their quarterback's coaching opening, but the Commanders blocked Blough from interviewing, viewing him as a valuable piece to their quarterback room and with potential to rise to the ranks of their organization. So clearly, and Dan Quinn, he's been around the block once or twice. I think he can see talent where talent, maybe he's not saying you are, but he sees the possibility, sees a spark in there. How do we feel, guys? How do we feel? Did this change your mind at all? Dolphins are wanting Harbaugh, reportedly. So, Jack, is that the team, dude? No way! Dude, all right, so that makes sense, because we had heard yesterday that there were 7 teams that showed interest in Harbaugh. One of them, though, was an unknown, because at the time there were only 7 openings. And the Ravens were one of them. No way! Oh! Dude, they said he was safe. Damn, dude. I like Mike McDaniel. Yeah, so it's too new to see if he's going to be coming to Detroit. I immediately was like, is he coming to Detroit? McDaniel's our next OC. Yes, you guys, dude. Yes, guys. So he's just coming here, right? Schefter confirms, yeah, Mike McDaniels is fired, dude. Wow. Yeah, so is he just a Lion now? Is he just like Mike McDaniel's our offensive coordinator, right? That's what's going to happen, right? That's what has to happen. I guess I know what we're fucking videos about later today. Mike McDaniel. Damn. I'll take him as long as he keeps doing psychedelics. Yeah, dude. Yeah, all right, guys. So we're all in favor, yo. Check. All right, hang on. We're just going to throw up a quick 3-minute poll here. All right, here you go, dude. Polls up. Bam. Let me know, chat. Chat. McDaniel to Detroit for the OC job. Let me know. Woo-hoo-hoo! Damn, boys. I mean, he went 35 and 35. Wow, dude, this is coming from the owner. Hard work, commitment. Bradford and Mike is an incredibly creative football mind who's passionate. Damn, boys. They fucking fired him. They had just said that they said he was safe too, dude. They said he was safe. The hell, man. Well, that's gross. That makes me not. I would not want the Miami job, dude. I would not want the Miami job at all, knowing that their fucking ownership group is going to say one thing and then completely do the other. Because they just said he was safe, dude. Rather have Dable for OC. Seems a better fit here. Yeah, Jack, except for Brian Dable. And the guy at the bank told me this yesterday, dude. He goes, Brian Dable is just a bald Matt Patricia. And I was like, fuck, you're right. Mike to Detroit or KC, but I also eat glue. Oh, Brent, that's a good point, dude. He was safe until John Harbaugh got fired. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, dude. That actually makes the most sense, dude. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. All right, guys. So it looks like, the poll, we are all on board. I think we all want Mike McDaniel to the 313. Yes. Yes. Make it happen. Knock on wood if you're with me, man. Let's go. Let's go. Mike McDaniel. Yes, dude. Let's bring him. He should be on his first flight to Detroit, dude. Legit. All right, boys and girls, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you who tuned in today. It was a little bit of a slow winding show, a little bit of a late start because I had to poop. But, things are what they are, and they are what they do. We're going to try and get our new camera set up today. Got a couple things to take care of here. Got a video to do, got some errands to run, but we are going to try and play around with the new camera. It came yesterday in the mail, so hopefully tomorrow might be a little bit better broadcast for you, a little bit clearer image so you can see all of this moneymaker. I've got a face for radio, but here we are on the internet. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Trying to have a good rest of your day. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been attentive audience. Slap the like button on your way out the door. Keep your eyes peeled for our upcoming VOD at 4 p.m. Bonga bonga. Frig off.